Hey, I just wanted to share an idea I came across here as we head into the EOGs, and rather than try to type out an email and tell you about it, I thought it'd be easier just to send you through a little video tutorial. So, let's get started. Alright, so the very first thing I do is I go on, I select a video of high interest that is also objective based. So for example, I selected a video that is about paying students for good grades, obviously high interest for middle school students, and it's a news report. So it meets my objective of a multimedia informational based text. The second thing I did was I created questions that flow in chronological order, and in the questions I used vocabulary that students are likely to encounter on their EOG. As a matter of fact, I went ahead and capitalized words that I thought were going to be used on the EOG that would instruct students on what they actually needed to do. The next step is I went to a website. It is www.videonotes. Notice that the period comes after NOT and before the ES. Once you're on the site, rather than me rewrite the tutorial, go ahead and take the tour. It takes just a few minutes. It will then prompt you to upload your video URL, and then your video will appear. The next thing you do is play the video, and as soon as you get to the part of the video that answers the question that corresponds with the question on your Pages document, you hit the number of that question. Then you allow the video to play, and as soon as you get to the next part, you hit enter and add in the next number until you have all the numbers included. Then what I do is I go back and I add abbreviated questions so that I know what the number is answering, but it doesn't give it away to the students. And then that's it, all done. So here's how it would work. For each class, I would have them watch the video in its entirety from beginning to end. I'll play a little segment of it for you now.
Now, a new way to raise test scores by offering cash rewards for students who perform well.
And so what happens here is they watch the video
which produces it
in its entirety. What I then might do is send them home with the questions for homework or do a flipped classroom and give them a link to the video where they can go through and pause the video as they try to answer the questions. Once they've had a chance to do that on their own, I then come back to Video Notes, I open it up, and I can jump straight to the answer of the question. So for example, let me show you how this works right now. I have this first one. It says identify how much money students can earn and what they must do to earn it. I'll play the video from near the beginning.
Offering cash rewards for students who perform well. John Talenko of Learning Matters Television, which produces education stories for the NewsHour, has our report.
Students who do well on the upcoming state tests will get more than high scores. They'll get cash. How much money did you get?
$100. I got $100.
Gina?
Okay, I can pause the video if I want and talk about it a little bit. Also too, let me show you another one here. It says here, at 5:40, the student says, we was so excited about the money. And then I ask some grammar questions, and I also go for some deeper thinking there to ask them to infer what that type of language says about that individual student. I go straight to it, and if I go to language first impression bookmark.
We was probably so excited about the money. So the day before the test, we went actually.
So I can jump straight to the part. So I can go to any of it. This one would answer number 8. Number 8 here says, identify where school funding comes from in Ohio. I click play.
In Ohio, most of the money for schools comes from local property taxes.
Okay, so the idea here is give them a chance with the video and just the questions on their own, and then as a class come back together, and with the use of video notes, you jump straight to the answer. In order to make this an EOG review rather than just a basic recall and seek and find type of activity, the complexity of questions and the wording that I use that reflects test wording really helps drive the lesson home and make it relevant to the end of the year. Hope this helps.